Patch 8.0 for World of Warcraft just hit the PTR servers. It's a big pre-patch for the Battle for Azeroth expansion, and with it comes some big changes. In this video, I'll go over the most major ones to give you an idea of what's coming with the patch and the things you can do now to prepare for it. The first change you'll notice are class changes. Specs got changed across the board, new abilities have been added, some abilities have been removed, talents rearranged, and etc. So the first thing you'll probably want to do is explore that a bit, hit a target dummy, and get a feel for your new spec going into the Battle for Azeroth, and try to pick a main character that's right for you. They aren't as huge as the Legion pre-patch changes a couple years back, but still pretty substantial. For example, the Affliction Warlock is off of the Drained Soul and is now back to Shadowbolt as a filler, and you now have the option of picking Drained Soul in the talents if you want, although it no longer heals you, which is a bummer. Most of the specs have changes at about that level, and other ones got really big reworks, such as the Demonology Warlock for example. Next is the big stat and eye level squish. This happens from time to time. The numbers get a little too crazy, so Blizzard scales down your eye level, damage, healing, and so on, and also of course that of your enemies as well. Aside from the class balance changes, you're supposed to be as strong as you are now in relation to your enemies. Just to give you an idea, I have a 963 Warlock on live servers who's eye level 240 on the PTR. Next, we have the pre-expansion scenarios. Now, these technically aren't in this PTR build, but they'll be added soon, so just for the sake of this video not becoming outdated in 2 days, I'll put these in here. Trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible, basically, these will be faction-specific scenarios that sort of kick off the story for the Battle for Azeroth, and setting up the Horde versus the Alliance War once again. You should get a quest immediately upon logging in that sends you to your main city, and once you complete them, you'll get awarded with these mounts. The Teldrassil Hippogriff for the Alliance, and the Undercity Plaguebat for the Horde. Next is the War Mode, something you'll notice immediately upon opening up your talents. Click the arrow on the top right to close and expand an additional PvP talent menu. This is the new PvP system for the Battle for Azeroth. At the bottom is a button called War Mode, only enabled and disabled in your faction's main hub for BFA. Right now it's Stormwind for the Alliance and Orgrimmar for the Horde. So basically, when this mode is enabled, you're put into an instance with everyone else who's enabled it, and your character can attack and be attacked by other players while it's active, and you'll have access to additional talents. Other incentives include increased experience gained, PvP side games such as crate collecting for bonus loot, and achievements, one of which gives you this mount. The talents in particular will be active everywhere but instances such as dungeons or raids, as opposed to the Legion system where they were only active for PvP areas such as the PvP world quests. So even if you're doing normal PvE questing, you get some bonus talents that really increase your damage and defense. Feel free to experiment with it before the Battle for Azeroth launches and get a feel if you think if it's worth enabling or not. You're more powerful, you'll level faster, get more loot, but you're also open to ganking, which may slow down the process overall, so it'll be a tough choice I think. And another huge change is that, along with this system, the servers will be changed as well. Since this is the new PvP system, any PvP or RP PvP server will be switched to normal and RP respectively. So for those of you who maybe regret rolling on a PvP server, you now have an out and you can switch War Mode off to completely avoid PvP without paying money for a server transfer. And since we're talking about PvP, the new honor system is also getting updated. You have a new UI, as you can see, that tallies up all of your kills and shows your honor level. Basically, your honor will be account-wide now, and any honor you've accumulated on every character will be added up, and you'll be given an honor level. and as you level it, you'll earn rewards such as this weapon, as you can see. So, lots of updates and changes in the PvP scene. And another big change you'll notice, sort of going hand in hand with the class updates, is that your artifact's traits will now be disabled. Going into your artifact menu, you get some dialogue that I won't spoil for you right now. You'll also get some story to go along with this, but it's basically the end of our artifact, so press F to pay your respects. So, as you would imagine, this will be a huge change because not only do you lose all of your passive traits and buffs, but you also lose your artifact ability. You keep your actual artifact weapon, and you'll still be able to get them through the Legion quests. They just won't be as potent now. And other miscellaneous changes include the new Hall of Fame achievement system. Technically, it's not in the PTR yet, but it'll be in the official 8.0 patch. This is potentially a new way to handle how and when they activate that cross-server mythic mode. Basically, this will be an online leaderboard that tracks the first 100 guilds to finish a certain raid, and you'll get a special achievement and be put on the leaderboards, and once the first 100 are logged, they'll supposedly activate cross-server mythic raiding. Kind of an interesting way to handle it, I think. Mythic Plus will be seeing an update with seasonal affixes. This will only go into effect with BFA content, but it's still pretty big news, so I may as well talk about it. Basically, we'll have these seasons of Mythic Pluses, and for each of these seasons, there'll be a special affix that you encounter. An example they threw out there is called Infested, where trash mobs get infected with a spawn of Gahoon, and you have to kill the spawn, but it keeps jumping from enemy to enemy. Once you kill an infected enemy, it'll try to crawl to the next one to infect it, supposedly buffing that mob. So, your goal is to kill it before it can latch on to its new target. Pretty interesting, and it should distinguish the seasons from each other. Good to know that they saw how successful Mythic Pluses were, and are adding on to them. And there are also some character customization updates. The long-awaited straight-postured orcs will now be selectable on character creation, and changeable at the barber shop. In addition to this, every race can now change their skin color at the shop as well. Also, Blood Elves got some minor updates to their face, and they can also select golden eyes now. The Guild Finder interface has changed a bit, and there's a new community system. You can create a group for World of Warcraft only, or Blizzard games in general, and have your own little group chat. For example, there'll probably be groups for each class dedicated to helping each other out, maybe another group for getting achievements, and so on. Basically an option for people who don't want to use Discord or whatever. That's about it though, as far as we currently know at least. With this pre-patch, you'll lose access to some Legion specific stuff. I made a whole video about this, which I'll have linked in the description, but as a quick summary, here's all the stuff that you'll lose access to, so you may want to knock these out now if you're a completionist, or you just like collecting things that'll be no longer obtainable. If you want specific details on each one, check out that video in the description. No release date has been confirmed yet, although if it follows Legion's pre-patch, it'll be around early July, which is a few weeks away. So you still have a good amount of time if you want to knock that stuff out. Anyways, I hope you found the video helpful, like it if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Farewell for now, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again soon.